back. We've got ourselves yet another one of these larger sort of storage boxes for trading cards, especially for Commander players. This is from a brand called Art Boutique. I believe I've heard of them before. It rings a bell. So yeah, this was sent over to me for free in exchange for a review. Been doing a handful of these. I think this is like the third one I've done. Another one was from a brand called Uaono, which was excellent. I actually really liked that one. It's a bit pricey, a bit expensive, but that other one we did was pretty good. So I'm gonna be taking a look at this one. We're going to see if this one actually matches up. I believe this one is a 5-in-1. I'm not exactly sure. I don't recall, but we're going to open this sucker up. And, ooh, look at that. Oh, okay. It looks like we've got, is that some gator skin? Or, I mean, it's not real gator skin, but it's made to look like it. If I'm remembering this correctly, I believe when I ordered this, it gave me an option to order, wow, this is really stuck in there. Hold on. It gave me an option to order either, wow, this does not want to come out. To order either regular PU leather or to get this kind of, they called it dragon scale. Well, I guess that's kind of dragon scale-ish, sort of, kind of, sort of. I mean, to me, it looks like snakeskin, but, you know, yeah. But yeah, this is the kind of finish that it gave me an option to order, so I ordered this one, and actually looks, again, this is not the real deal. This is just, you know, PU leather made to look like this, so. But it does still look pretty interesting there. Wow, look at that. We've got our peels on the side coming. We got the back side. It has that rougher feel to it. I mean, I can tell because I've actually had my hands on snakeskin before, and this is not snakeskin. It's PU leather, but made to look like it. So it gives you the look, you know. But it's not gonna be the real thing. Obviously, that would be much more expensive. And we got a little something right here. Can we get this off? Oh, there we go. Yeah, just come right off. Okay. So let's take a look here, and I'm taking a look at stitching. Stitching actually looks really good from the outside here. We will check on the inside, and let me go ahead and turn this on the side. We're going to do a quick peel here, because we've got two of our Commander thingies here, so let's go ahead and peel these for you. I know some of you guys love peels. There you go. There's the first peel there. And that, oh wow, okay, so it looks like you've got a larger commander window, bleh, I cannot speak, a larger commander window right here, and then you've got the decks that kind of slide inside, and it does have that kind of sort of softer plastic on the outside that's not glass or anything. And the stitching here looks pretty good as well. Let's flip this over, we're going to do another peel. And there we are. Not very sticky, just peels right off. And same thing here, yeah, softer kind of plastic. It's not that kind of crappy warpable plastic that you might see on some products nowadays where you just kind of push a finger in and then that kind of imprint is left there forever. It does feel a little on the firmer side, so that's good. Got a little bit of a loose stitch right there. But overall, the window itself looks pretty darn good. Okay, so let's turn this over. There is a handle. Let's see. It does take a little bit to get to the handle. Feels pretty sturdy, actually. These feel like aluminum? Is this aluminum? Yeah, I think this is aluminum, because this is not, it's not magnetic. I believe it's part aluminum and part magnetic, because I am feeling it is somewhat magnetic. So I'm guessing that these little things right here, the bolts themselves, are actually aluminum or magnesium, and the screw that's on the underside is probably steel. So that's what's going on there. And as far as their sturdiness, feel pretty good. Giving it a pretty good yank here. I feel all right. It does hold up pretty well. Of course, when you fully load this up, it's going to put a lot more pressure on it, but it is holding up pretty well. The one thing I did notice, though, is as I put all that pressure on it, it did leave little indentions here. So that is going to happen if you're going to load this thing up and you're actually going to use this little strap. So, yeah. So not bad, though. Decent implementation there. Let's go ahead and check our magnets here. Ooh, okay, these magnets feel kind of interesting. Let's see. How many do we have? Let me go ahead and open this up. Oh, there we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I guess we got 8 here. The ones up here, and then you've got the ones on the body itself. And as far as their strength, pretty decent. Not great, but pretty good. Pretty sturdy. Okay, that actually works. All right, so let's go ahead and open this thing all the way up. And, ooh, wow, look at that. Okay, so it does have that soft inner lining there. Very, very nice. Does this pull all the way down? It does. Okay, and it looks like this. Again, 4 more magnets here, 4 more magnets here. So 8 magnets holding that flap up there. And it does not come all the way off. So on the bottom, it is attached. But it looks like they're on the side. You can leave it like that, or you can just pull it all the way down there. And I guess this thing is kind of big enough to where if you needed to, you could use it as a dice mat maybe. But I don't know. I imagine once you pull your deck out, you're probably going to just wrap this thing right back up there. So yeah, magnets are actually pretty decent on this flap here as well. Let's move this over. And let's see what we've got here. Oh, wow. Okay, so we've got ourselves some, looks like regular old plastic dividers there. That's actually pretty neat. We've got ourselves a matching dice tray, which looks like it flips up, but it's only on one side. So this may be only a single magnet. We'll take a look at this here more in a moment. What do we got here? Is this a... Oh, this is an extra deck box. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so it does give us an extra, just regular kind of general plastic deck box, which, again, we will take a look at. All right. So let's see. These should just come right out, and they do. Okay, ooh. Okay, they've got a little bit of weight to them. Yeah, these should come all out just like this. All right, so these aisles are pretty darn wide, and I can already tell what some people might be thinking here. Are they big enough for just a standard kind of modern deck box? I mean, if the deck box is about this size, I would say yes. Now, of course, these don't have the flaps on them, so we do need to be aware of that, and we will be checking to see about how big these aisles are, just so you can kind of see. Let me pull these over here. And I'm going to set the box itself aside for just a moment because I actually want to look at these, I guess, deck trays, really? Deck boxes? All right, so again, they have the same sort of leather feel. It's got kind of that, you know, kind of Foss, dragon scale / snake skin to it. The commander windows look pretty decent. The stitching looks a little on the side, but not too bad. And it looks like there are top loaders in there that do slide right out. Yep, regular 3x4 top loaders. It is pretty thin there. It doesn't look like it would actually be wide enough for any snap holders from what I'm seeing, so it looks like you're only going to be able to use just the top loaders that come with them. And each of these do come with a top loader, as you can see. I'm going to do a quick glance at, oh, this one has the same issue there. See that extra threading there at the bottom? Yeah, this one has the same issue there. What about the tops? This top looks mostly okay. Tiny, tiny bit of excess glue here. Tiny bit of excess glue there. Grab the other ones. Okay. This one looks like it's kind of pushed out ever so slightly. Not sure if you could see that on camera, but it protrudes ever so slightly there. But again, yeah, I'm seeing the same issue on all of these. They got a little bit of a stitching issue. This one doesn't have it, thankfully. Okay, so 3 out of the 4 have a tiny bit of stitching issue right there around the commander window. Let's see, they are a bit flexible. Yeah, another 3x4 top loaders. The build quality overall for each of these does look pretty good. I do want to check capacity, because these should hold at least 100. Yeah, these are going to hold probably closer to 120, 130 single-sleeved cards. This is my commander deck, 100 single-sleeved cards. And as you can see, we've got tons of room there. Yeah, you can easily fit another 30 cards for a total capacity of 130. This is 30 cards right here. Let me go ahead and just slide these right in. And let's see. Yep, there you go. That right there is 130 cards. It is a bit of a tight fit. I mean, it does have some flex there. I think if you were to add, say, 5 more cards to max it to 135, that's probably going to be where you want to go with it. All right, so it looks like you got pretty good capacity from these. It looks like about 135 cards are going to fit into each of these, so excellent capacity there. And then, like I mentioned, we do have the center aisle, which we will be taking a look at here. Let me go ahead and open this back up, and I'll take a quick look at the top here to check the build quality on this as well. Again, just wow, okay, it's got that kind of a shoebox smell to it, where it kind of smells like fresh shoes. So that's nice. And just as I was thinking, it looks like there are some screws here. I'm sure you can see right here, these little things that kind of go in there. It does feel like these screws actually are steel. Yep, they are steel. Okay, so the screws themselves are steel, but the little notch things here, I believe, are either aluminum or magnesium, so not magnetic. And they are flush, so you don't really have to worry too much about these things constantly rubbing up against the sides of your deck boxes there. So, pretty good space there. Let me actually grab... This is a modern Commander deck box. Let's see, does this actually fit in here? It does not. Yeah, trying to fit it in there this way, it does not fit. If I fit it in here this way, it does. Okay, so that does actually fit. And then, of course, I've got the smaller one here that fits in there just fine in case for any reason you actually want to bring another one of these over. I am trying to fit this in the middle, and the middle is actually smaller. Yeah, this doesn't want to fit in there in the middle. I can kind of force it in, but it's not comfortable. You can probably see that the sides here are bowing out a little bit there, so it doesn't fit there. Let's see, do I have another deck box here? I got another one here. Oops. Got another deck box right here. I believe this one's a little bit smaller. And yeah, this one's a little bit smaller. This one barely fits in, so yeah, the measurements are going to be a thing here. I'm going to probably try and get you all the measurement for the inside part here because... yeah, that's going to be pretty small. This, again, same thing. If I'm going sideways, it doesn't want to fit. But if I go this way, oh yeah, plenty of room. As you can see, these ends here definitely are bigger. But yeah, the inside, this particular deck box does fit, but this is on the smaller side. Now, of course, just because it fits in there doesn't necessarily mean that it may close. Okay, yeah, actually, this one, because this one is not too tall, it will actually close if you decide to, you know, to just kind of store that in there like that. So yeah, this one will close, but again, as I mentioned, the qualifier here, this particular deck box is on the smaller side. Let me see if I have another deck box. I do have one of these Ultra Pro deck boxes, and these fit in here just fine. So if you've got several of these, yeah, this is going to fit in here just fine. Same thing over here, plenty of room. So yeah, if you're going for like just kind of regular Ultra Pro, like say for instance, if you keep, you know, a handful of loose cards in here, like you might buy a couple of packs and you just want a little case to stick these in while you're out at the local tournament. Yeah, the Ultra Pro fits in there just fine. Here we go. This is one from Binnerin that I reviewed some time ago. And again, this one is of the smaller variety. This is a side load though, as you can see. And this one, the thing comes completely off. So in the middle, it does not fit with the top on it, because the top has these little lips right here. It does not fit with the top on it. On the sides here, does fit, but again, it's a bit awkward there. Let me just grab the measurements, because again, there are just so many different sizes when it comes to deck boxes that it's really hard to kind of tell. All right, let me give you all an approximate size here. It looks from end to end, it's just over 7 inches. I mean, but just a hair. So that's about 18 centimeters or so. Yeah, it's about 18 centimeters or just over 7 inches. As far as how wide this thing is, let me see if we can get a decent measurement here. It looks like about just under 3¼ inches from what I'm seeing there. Yeah, 3¼ inches. If we were doing centimeters, about 8 centimeters. So there's your measurements there. So if your deck box measures that as far as like length and width, that's fine. As far as height though, just a little over 4½ inches or just under 12 centimeters. And of course on the inside, can I actually get a decent measurement on the inside here to give me an idea? Let's see. Yeah, from the inside, I'm actually measuring like this. From the inside, we're looking at about 4½ inches or 11½ centimeters. Keep that in mind, it will work with smaller deck boxes, like the Ultra Pro or that other deck box that I was showing you there. Now, of course, it does come with a deck box, so we're gonna just kind of open this up and we're gonna take a look at this as well. But again, that's, you know, you do have some spacing there to fit some modern deck boxes, but again, if they're on the bigger variety, like even this Commander deck box is on a slightly larger variety, it's gonna, you know, you're gonna run into problems there. So yeah, as you can see, it fits here on the side, but in the middle, it's not really gonna work. These top loaders I want to take a quick look at before we move on to the deck box and whatnot. The top loaders themselves are actually pretty cloudy. If this is not a plastic layer on top of it, they're pretty darn cloudy. So you may want to swap them out for other top loaders if you're looking for clarity. If you don't really care about that, they're fine. So this included deck box. It doesn't appear to really be anything too special. It is one of those kind of cheap plastic deck boxes, as you can see. It's really, really cheap, super flexible. Yeah, opens right up like that, and does have a little bit of an edge there on the back, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, super, super flexible. Obviously fits inside the case. As far as what the actual capacity of this thing is, all right, actual capacity of this extra deck box definitely fits 100. It looks to me, just from eyeballing it, that's probably going to be about 115 to maybe 120 if you really push it. But I'm going to say, just to be safe, about 115 or so. So it does have pretty decent capacity. It's nothing really all that special, but it is an extra deck case or deck box that you can have, that you can store in this thing easily. So it's fine. It's kind of similar to these Ultra Pro deck boxes, where they're fairly sturdy. They've got kind of that flexible yet sort of sturdy plastic that should last a while. And just to give you an idea, I've had this particular deck box, no joke, for over 20 years. Now that's with reasonably light use these last few years, because I just haven't used it that much, but as long as you take pretty decent care of these tend to last. So this one, it feels very much the same. The plastic feels a little bit thinner than this Ultra Pro run, so I think this is fine if you just need like an extra deck case to kind of store like kind of loose cards. This should work just fine in that capacity. Okay, so we'll set this aside. Now, as far as these dividers, again, I've mentioned it many, many times on all of my videos. Dividers are pretty hard to mess up. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. So you get 24 of these things. These are of the thinner variety, very, very flexible. All right, so we've got our micrometer here, and we're going to go ahead and measure exactly how thick these are. These feel like 0.5s, and yep, they are 0.5s. So these are of the thinner variety. Again, as I've said many, many times, it's really hard to mess up dividers there. You have to really just not care to mess up a divider. I mean, they feel nice and smooth. They don't have any kind of rough edges or anything like that. So if you use these to divide even loose cards, should be just fine. I see no problem with these particular dividers here. This is our dice tray, which is made of the same stuff, the same material as the box itself. And again, the build quality looks pretty darn good. It does, I believe, just have a single magnet. And yes, well, actually it has 2 technically. It's got 1 here and 1 here. So 1 single point of contact. So the 2 total magnets. Opening it up there. And yeah, build quality seems to be maintaining there. The color is the exact same as this one over here. And yeah, nice and deep. Doesn't have any sort of issues there. A little bit of flex. That's normal. I would say this dice tray is actually pretty decent, and I like the fact that, at least with dice trays, I know when it comes to deck boxes or those large storage boxes, I like it when the top comes completely off. They've been doing the same thing with dice trays, but this one does not. This one, the top actually stays on. It doesn't come all the way off, as you can see. So that's actually a pretty darn nice dice tray there. Okay, so overall, what do I think about this? The quality is pretty darn good. The capacity is excellent. The top loaders, they could definitely use improvement, but I'm not going to mark off too much because they're easily replaceable. The dividers are fine. The dice tray is really, really good. It's nice to have this extra deck box thrown in here so that you don't necessarily have to just, put a bunch of loose cards in there. And at the very least, you could use this as kind of like a little block to hold up the cards that you have loose here. So that's actually kind of nice. And again, these slide out just fine. I'm going to say if you've got the extra money for something like this, this is actually pretty darn good. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that I recommend this, even though there are tiny little fit and finish issues here. Like, as I'm looking over it more, I'm seeing more little splotches of glue. They're very, very minor, which is why I'm not really giving the product a hard time in that regard. Yeah, I'm going to say that this is definitely a go from me. If you're looking for something about this size that holds 4 commander decks, plus has some extra room on the inside for things like dice or extra cards and whatnot, but comes in a nice little package just like this, I'm going to say this is a winner. This is pretty good. Now, of course, like I mentioned, these do come with the different skins. They don't all look like this. You can choose one that has more of like kind of a traditional surface like this if you want. I just wanted to get this one just to kind of see how they pulled it off. And Well, it does achieve the look. Like I said, it's definitely not it's not snake skin. It's not dragon scale. It's PU leather, but it looks neat. It looks kind of nice. So yeah, this is actually a pretty good deck box or pretty good storage bin, I'd say here, man. Again, this was Art Boutique, I believe, was the brand name. There will be an affiliate link in the description if you all want to go ahead and take a look at that box. But yeah, this actually gets a pass from me. Good job, Art Boutique. Thanks for checking out the video, guys. I really appreciate it. Make sure you'll like, subscribe, share the video, all that other good YouTuber stuff, and we'll see you next time.